Hi guys, welcome back. Today we'll be taking a look at Alibaba, C, and Amazon. Before we begin, remember take a second to give the video a like and subscribe to stay updated with the market. Do note that do not provide any buy or sell calls, but focus on potential traps set up by market makers. Without further ado, let's take a look at BA. So Baba once again retested its lows of $81 and we closed right at the bottom for the day. So this is not a good sign. The next support that we'll be looking at will be the $80 psychological support here. If we do break down, then it's likely for us to be looking to see back this 328, which is a 52-week low for Alibaba. Of course, there's still an opportunity for us to have a potential stop hunting here just below this $80 psychological support, maybe perhaps at 78 to 79. Where there are some retail investors who cut their losses here, then we may see a short-term rebound. However, we only likely to see a short-term rebound rather than a reversal, because if you can see, we are clearly creating a lower highs. So this is the high here, this is the lower high here, and this is the lower high. So even if we do go back up, perhaps a double bottom, unfortunately, we will likely to see some rejection off here and create a lower high. Thereafter, we may start breaking down to create lower lows and more lower lows, or even new all-time lows. So let's take a look at the potential wave patterns. If you can see that this is the first wave down. For our second wave, we only managed to hit this 50% at 102.96. We did not clear it, and this 16.8% 108 did not even test at all. So it's likely for us to be heading down towards perhaps $60, and there is a potential area where we will be heading in the event that 73 were to break down. If 73 do not break down, then we are likely to see a double bottom for Alibaba, which is a potential area for buyers to come back again at $73. So let's take a look at 9898. So very similar pattern for Alibaba. Currently now 9988 is down 4.5%, and it's almost lunchtime for Hong Kong market. So you can see that this 8120 is likely to be tested, and it's currently now sitting at this 8120. So there's a chance for us to form a double bottom, or if we do break down, perhaps later in the day or tomorrow, then there is a chance for us to start breaking down and head towards this $71 after breaking down these $80 psychological support levels. Once again, there's a possibility of us having a stop hunting here, and thereafter have a short-term rebound. Not forgetting, on the downtrend, rebounds are opportunities to escape, just like this one. There is a high here, and we started creating lower highs, and also lower highs. So that is not a good sign, because it's a sign that we are still on a downtrend, and the trend will likely to remain bearish. Unless we can start breaking out above this blue conversion line and this blue red line, blue baseline. If not, we're a red baseline rather. If not, we're likely to continue to trend down. Currently, the blue conversion line is at 92.28, and the red baseline is at 97.83. So there's still about $10 to $20 for us to climb, go back above these very strong resistance levels. So let's take a look at C Limited. So C Limited, unfortunately, it broke down all support level, 68, 68, and even $60. So it seems like the trend will continue to remain bearish. So the next support that we're likely to be looking at is the $50 psychological support here. So $50 is a very strong psychological support for C Limited. So it's likely for us to be looking at some stop hunting just below this $50 psychological support, perhaps at $47 to $48 and $49, where some retail investors may start selling or stop losses. If you look at C, there's a total of 4 gaps that needs to be filled, and currently one already has been filled. So if you look closely back in May 2020, this is actually the first gap. So the first gap here, it's between 62 to around it's between 62 to around $65. So this is the first gap that really has been filled in the past few days for C Limited. If you go back in time and do check it out, you can see that there is another gap here, sometime between 31 to 34. So that is the second gap. Not forgetting, there's one more gap here at 38 to 40, and the last gap that C is likely to fill will be from 16 to 18. So there are a total of 3 gaps left for C Limited to fill. So just to be a quick recap, write it down. So the first gap that was filled was between 62 to 65. So this gap already has been filled. Next gap, we're looking at 38 to 40, still far away. And following that, we'll be having 32 to 35. And the last gap to be filled will be 16 to 18. So there are 3 gaps left to be filled. Currently looking at $50 psychological support here, 48 to 49 may be a potential stop hunting. If we do continue to break down with high volume, then we may be looking towards this 38 to 40. That the first gap needs to be filled first before going down further. However, if we do see a rebound, you can expect the rebound to be quite strong because we already have fallen quite a bit. So this particular counter can go up easily 10 to 20% in each day. But those are for traders to come in to take opportunities. As for long-term investors, we will just continue to see how the price action develops and it's likely for us to accumulate more at lower prices. So there's no hurry to come in yet, unless there is a change of sentiments or there's a change of perhaps the upcoming earnings is quite good, then we may see a potential bottom for C Limited. Other than that, it's likely for us to continue to remain bearish, and you can clearly see that there is a lower high and lower lows. So long as this trend were to remain, it's likely for us to continue remaining bearish on a downtrend. So let's take a look at Amazon. So for Amazon, you can clearly see that it's currently in the dumping phase. So we will continue to remain bearish. You can see that this is how the big boys actually played. They accumulated. Thereafter, they are uptrend and they start distributing. So after the accumulation phase and after the uptrend, after they have distributed among all the retail investors, now it's the dumping phase. So it's likely for us to be continue to see more downside unless we start seeing some accumulation. So it's unlikely for the stock to actually go back up so quickly without having the big boys to accumulate, because so long as they have not accumulated, it's unlikely for them to push the stock back up. Occasionally, we will see a rebound on a downtrend. That is totally normal. But what we want to see is a good uptrend. But only a good uptrend can occur once they have accumulated long enough. And the accumulation period can be for months or even for years. If you look at this accumulation period lasted for almost 1 year, in fact. So that's quite a long period of time. So let's take a look at the Fibonacci levels. So you can clearly see that this 61.8% at 2.9K did not hold at all. We found stronger support at this 50% here. So there's some stronger support 50% at 2.6K, 2.7K. And thereafter, we started breaking down this 38.2% and this 23.6% at 21.32. So in the event that we do not start going back up for a rebound, then we will likely to slide down further to test the 2000 psychological support level. Of course, there may be some potential stop hunting at around 1.8 to 1.9K. But if we were to go too close to this 2K psychological support, then we'd like to break it. It's either we avoid it completely or we start to break down these 2K psychological support levels. So after this 2.1K, where will I be looking at? It will be this 1.1626.03, which is the low in March 2020. It is very possible that we may continue to fall to these prices. And even if we do rebound, I'm afraid that we will just create a lower high here. So this is a lower high, this is a lower high. So we'll start creating lower highs and then we will likely to fall further. Stocks don't fall in a straight line. So even if we do rebound, it's an opportunity to escape rather than to add positions. And we only rebound for a bigger drop. So I'm looking towards this 1.6K in the event that this 2K psychological support were to break down. So if there's any changes, I'll give you guys an update. Thanks for stopping by and don't forget to subscribe as you keep the uptrend channel intact. Till we meet again, appreciate the manipulation.